Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 6 in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Martinsville Speedway. It's the paperclip. It's the shortest track on the circuit. It's the STP Old Dominion 500. 100 laps of action here around the 0.526 mile speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. It's going to be a doozy of a race, I'll tell you that much, because we're going to have ourselves quite a few pit stops. We're going to actually bump the pit stop frequency back up to 3 times. It's been 2 times the past 4 races, and surprisingly, this was the race why we actually made the decision for most races to be 2x this year. But we're still going 3x on this one because this race thrives on pit strategy, and that's when it gets really interesting for this race, and it's going to get interesting with the pit strategy playing out. When we get the frequent cautions, we get the split strategy, anything is possible here at Martinsville. And that's kind of what we want to see, because passing here at Martinsville on the racetrack's a little difficult. Probably one of the hardest places to make a pass on of all the racetracks we go to on the circuit. But we're going to see some passing for the lead no matter what, and passing back in the field. So it's anybody's game here today. I'm alongside Marty Johnson. First time we've done a race this season together. What do you think we're going to see here today? Do you think we're going to see a calmer race than we did last year with the guy coming down just a couple laps left before the race is over? Or do you think someone is going to easily pull away kind of near the end and take home the race victory?
I think depending on the pit window, I believe if I'm correct, my strategy has it between 20 to 30 laps. So I think we could see these drivers go within the window throughout the way. But then, because we'll obviously have a few cautions in this race because of the fact that it's, typical short track racing. But in the end, I think we could see some big fireworks here.
Yeah, we saw those fireworks last year when Jesse Turner came down the pit lane after he dominated the event, and then gave way to Nathan Stapleton and Ace Garcia battling for the race win, and gave Nathan Stapleton his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. I think the fuel window is probably about 30 to 40 laps here, maybe a little bit more with cautions. We really don't know. With all the cautions that could happen in this race, it's just going to be all over the place, and it really isn't going to matter, and we won't even know when a guy's running out of fuel until they come down the pit lane. That's what happened last year, so it's going to be a crapshoot to the end, but it's going to be a fun one. And got Mark Davidson, our points leader, starting on the pole position. Mark Davidson's been doing a great job this season for Tanker Motorsports. 169 points towards the championship for him. Diego Yepez is 5 points behind. Last week's winner did a pretty good job in that race last week, grabbing his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series victory. He's now only 5 points off the championship mark. He's been one of the most consistent guys the past couple of years here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Wyatt Quayle, Diego Yepez's teammate, is 6 points behind. Herjo Larvin Alonso is 15 points behind. And Josh Marzak, the Daytona 500 champion, is 28 points behind. Coming into the 6th race of the season, we still have ourselves 22 races left to go. Actually, 23 races left to go, including this one. So, a long ways until we crown a champion here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So, the points really don't mean too much right now. Mark Davidson, our points leader, is starting on the pole position. Alongside him, it's Roger Ray. And Roger Ray's been seeing his fellow rookies who came in with him from last season's fellow sophomore competitors win races like Patrick Smith and Diego Yepez. He might be feeling he's next on the list, driving the number 24. He starts on the outside pole. We got Daniel McMillan and Justin Roberts in row number 2. A couple of veterans right there. Justin Roberts started in the 3rd position for this race last year, but he didn't finish there. He had issues in that race last year. Andrew Ross and Silas Orta, a couple of rookies in row number 3. John Andrews alongside Trey Bartow in row number 4. Then it's Jonathan Skivnicki, veteran driver in the 26 alongside Carter Friesen. The only guy at Full Frontal Motorsports to yet get a victory, his 2 teammates, Yepez and Quayle, both got race victories in caution-free races. Don't think this one's going to be a caution-free race, but Carter Friesen hopes to be in victory lane and make it a full frontal sweep. The first 6 races of the season with all 3 of their drivers getting race victories to start off the year. Looks like everybody's going to roll off. Final thoughts on what we're going to see here today, Marty?
Classic short track racing at Martinsville. A lot of bumping and banging. It'll be fun.
It will be 100 laps. Going to be a long day here in the STP Old Dominion 500. But I think Mark Davidson's ready to get this one going. Green flag in the air. We're racing at the paperclip. Davidson holds on, leads lap number 1, a bonus point towards the championship for him. Roger Ray put up a good fight, but as you can tell, that outside lane is not where you want to be here at the Martinsville Speedway. McMillan holds on to second. He got around Roger Ray. Ray is still stuck on the outside lane. Now to the outside of Andrew Ross. Guy moving up through the field fairly well. Jonathan Skibnicki. He started alongside Carter Friesen, and now they're about a half a straightaway apart from each other. Skibnicki moving his way inside the top 5 to the inside of John Andrews. Justin Roberts to the inside of John Andrews, and Tristan Allen, your guy up here, to the inside of your other guy, Silas Horta, doing a pretty good job. Now number 3.
Now watch this closely in turn 3 and 4. They almost went 3-wide with Horta, Trey Bartow, and is that the 13 as well, I believe that is? Yes, it is. Sebastian Kugelon. They nearly go 3-wide once again. These drivers are probably going to be wanting to stay 2-wide throughout. 3-wide is very tough to do here at Martinsville.
It is. It's a very narrow racetrack. We practically went from the widest racetrack to the narrowest racetrack on the circuit. Auto Club got a lot of room to do stuff there. You don't really have that room, that flexibility here at Martinsville, but looking pretty calm so far for these guys. Mark Davidson holding onto the race lead right now. Daniel McMillan running second. Andrew Ross, he's had a struggling season so far in that number 35. Yellow on the racetrack. And last year's runner-up, Ace Garcia, got caught up in this one with Cody Sill. Cody Sill had his development driver in Season 5, Larry Ike, and won this race with Larry Ike. Not going to be the case today for Cody Sill, I don't think. A lot of damage to that 37. Mark Davidson's already down the pit lane, and a lot of guys down, but somebody's staying out.
Stay out.
How about the old legend? Jonathan Skibnicki has been around longer than Napa Fan has been around. And here he is, taking the race lead. Tristan Allen staying out, Kukulon staying out. What do you think about this strategy? These guys staying out might be at an advantage of getting another quick caution.
I think this is a good call for them to stay out. You know, we're just 7 laps in. Some of these drivers are just trying to top off and get some new Goodyear Eagles on, because you know this can be a worn out track. I don't know when the last time it was, as Mark Davidson just hit the stop sign man.
Thankfully, he is transparent.
Yes, thank goodness.
Either way, Jonathan Skibnicki. Been a while since we've called that name up front on Napa Fan. His last win came in the Hers Dash Series in 2017 in Kentucky. That was the last series he raced in before coming back in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this year. And now he's leading your guy, Tristan Allen, who has well over 150 races in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series without a race win. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that because he's not going to win now. But either way, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day here at Martinsville. And it led to opening up some strategy for these guys, so let's see what happened to bring it out. Well, Zachary Fitzwater, a little aggressive on the 81 of Ace Garcia. Got to his back bumper off of turn number 2, and didn't let off on the gas either. It just spun him right around off the corner. All these guys trying to avoid him. A couple of them did not, I don't think. Looks like Michael Cantu avoided it. Julius Anderson, Ace Garcia's teammate, did not. And Cody Sill cut to the inside. Trying to get around Nathan Stapleton, ran right into the 81. And by the way, we do have 3 Dr. Pepper cars in this race. And another fun fact, this race was the Dr. Pepper 500 in Season 3. That literally just came to my mind. But Ace Garcia, Cody Sill going around there. They should both be able to continue. Not major damage on those machines, but definitely not what they wanted early on here in the STP Old Dominion 500.
So as you can see here, Fitzwater just tries to get underneath Garcia, but just gets in the back bumper and turns around. Then watch that 37. He sees the stack up, and he thinks he's going to cut to the inside. He just has nowhere to go and gets into the 81 of Garcia. Tough break there for Cody Sill. If he stayed on the outside, that would have only been a 360 spin for Ace.
Yeah, tough break for Cody Sill. A tough break for last year's Martinsville winner, Nathan Stapleton. It's been a tough weekend for him in that 28. Not exactly what he wanted at this point, but I don't know. You never know what's going to happen here. We didn't think he was going to win last year, and he ended up winning that race, so it's still pretty much anyone's game, only unless you're a lap down at this point, and we will have a few guys lap down because of how short this racetrack is. Leaders come back around and lap some guys who are still on the pit lane. Jonathan Skibnicki is the race leader. He's yet to make a pit stop. see what he does on the restart here in the STP Old Dominion 500 race 6th of the season in Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We're going to be restarting with 90 laps to go, and it looks like
is that
Patrick
the guy in fifth?
Smith, our Phoenix winner, might have an issue. So he's going to be coming down the pit lane here. He was running 5th at the time, not at all what Patrick Smith wanted to see. Like I said, won at Phoenix a couple weeks ago. Doesn't look like it's going to be a win for him here today. It's Skivnicki, Allen, Kukulon, Alexander Rowe, and now Seth Cole inside the top 5. Back to racing at Martinsville. And here we go. Alexander Rowe aggressive on the 13. He's going to take 3rd away from the rookie driver.
But man, what a restart. Skivnicki got pulled away there from Allen for a few moments.
Great restart for Jonathan Skivnicki. He wants his 2nd career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race win. It's been since Indianapolis in Season 5 since he's gotten a win in this series. Kukulon back to the inside of Alexander Rowe. He ain't going to let that 06 pull away from him. And hello to my man, Garrett Zenor, inside the top 5 with Matt Dahlia right behind him. Veterans are doing pretty good, and he got Sebastian Kukulon in between all of them here. Not many rookies running up front right now. We'll go ahead and see where the leaders before the caution ended up falling after their pit stops. Mark Davidson was the first off the pit lane. He's currently 15th right now, but he has made his first pit stop. But he really doesn't have that much of an advantage on Skivnicki and these guys, I don't think. It was really early on in the race, and they'll only be able to stay out a couple laps more than Skivnicki, Allen, and these guys who are up front right now. Kukulon was not able to get around Alexander Rowe. Rowe's going to stay in the 3rd position. But it's Skivnicki, Allen, Rowe, Kukulon, and Garrett Zenor, the top 5 here on lap 14.
You were just mentioning about Mark Davidson earlier. He's got fresher tires than probably the top 14 do on the track. And you know what they say, any tires are better than newer tires are better than old tires.
Yep, you're definitely right about that. But,
but he got tied up in 1 and 2.
He's having a hard time right now. Ooh, Sam Adio in the outside wall, and McMillan's going to drive right by Davidson. That could be very significant later on. Looks like Michael Canto's down the pit lane. We didn't check in and see who got a lap down here. 39, Machine O'Reilly Spurley. Actually, McMillan's also a lap down. That's interesting. Had a very slow stop. Wyatt Quayle was a lap down. Andrew Miller, Cody Sill, of course, Josh Marzak, Ace Garcia, and Jesse Turner appears to be out of the race in the 77. Of course, we saw the issues with Patrick Smith. Don't know what happened with Turner. I didn't even see him.
I think some of these issues, because this track is so small, this may come from an issue with the fact that, these drivers have to remain stopped before the entire pack can go by on the track before they go back on track. It may have even cost them a lap.
Oh yeah, it did. It happens all the time, and all those guys who were 1 lap down, that is what happened to them. Maybe with the exception of Ace Garcia and Cody Sill, because they were involved in the accident. I'm a little surprised by Turner there. Don't know what happened to the guy who was dominating this race last year. It looks like it's going to be a last place finish for the Outer Island Motorsports driver, Jesse Turner. Not at all what the 77 wanted to see coming into this race. Not been a good season for a lot of those Outer Island guys, but Matt Dahlia's up there in 6th, so not too bad. We'll have to see how it all goes down for him. How about a huge shout out to Emily Anderson? She comes into this race 6th in the championship standings, and now she's running 8th at Martinsville in the championship ride. She has excelled in that number 5 for EGI. She's excelled way past her teammate John Arndt. But the thing about John Arndt, he's either really good or really bad. He's never in the middle. Won the Truck Series Championship in the fall, and he's now outside the top 30 in points after 5 races. Not been the best of seasons for Anderson's teammate John Arndt, but Emily Anderson's doing pretty good. Christian Master and Brad Stover's up here. We only have 2 rookies in the top 10. That's Sebastian Kukulon and Emily Anderson. Kukulon is a champion, and Emily Anderson's been driving on Napa Fan since 2016. It is a highly experienced top 10 here at Martinsville.
And it looks like they just caught up to Ace Garcia in the 81, and that actually slowed up Kukulon a little bit, and with the same with Allen. The 06 may try and look to the bottom here, and now I don't think he's going to. But we would just mention about Emily Anderson. She's driving the same car that owner Elijah Gordon won the title with last year.
And the year before that.
Yes, that too.
Her teammates down the pit lane, John Arndt. Some strategy plays out in the back of the field. Some guys decide to come down. See Matthew Phillips coming down. They decide to come down during the green flag run, hoping that it's going to stay green, so that they can possibly
I think, is the yellow light on? I thought I saw.
I don't see Alexander Rowe anywhere. Something happened to the 06.
Caution's out. Caution.
Caution's out, probably for Alexander Rowe. Don't see him anywhere.
He's out. No, that was Arndt. He's in the
Rowe's
pits.
down the pit lane. I think Rowe had a problem, and it triggered the second caution of the race.
Ooh.
That was interesting right
That's
there.
going to cause a lot of implications here, especially with this pit road matchup we got going on.
Yeah, Skibnicki's going to come down. Allen, Kukulon, Sinor, Dalio, Anderson. Looks like they're all coming down right here. McMillan's a lap down. Canto's a lap down. Spurley's a lap down. So all the lead lap cars are coming down, and including Mark Davidson. So, you know, he's off the strategy now, and he's back in the field.
Is that rear end damage I see on the back of the 95?
Everybody's going to have damage by the end of the day, just to let you know.
That's
They
true.
jam it up on those cautions, and it gets really interesting here with all the damage. But the damage does not affect these guys too much, thankfully, so we shouldn't see much of a problem. But there's Jonathan Skibnicki. Came down the pit lane first. It's a tough break for Mark Davidson. I mean, you know, the strategy just didn't work for him. I don't get why you would come in that early on in a run. It looks like Kukulon's going to beat off Skibnicki. Garrett Zenor, will he have a shot on the 26? No. Skibnicki's second off the pit lane, but it's rookie Sebastian Kukulon first off the pit lane a quarter of the way through the race.
Sorry, and Skibnicki got slowed up because of all the pit road traffic that was coming in and coming out.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure Kukulon ended up... He was past Skibnicki before Skibnicki was done his pit stop, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that is huge there for the number 13, but Skibnicki's going to be right behind him. Garrett Zenor is third. Matt Gallio and Tristan Allen lost a couple of positions, but he's still inside the top 5 in the number 3. It looks like Diego Yepez is going to file in between those guys, and we're going to have some guys in front of our leaders. So this is where it gets fun at Martinsville. Kukulon's the race leader. Let's see what happened to Alexander Rowe to bring out the second caution of the day here in the STP Old Dominion 500. This is what happened to Alexander Rowe. Just stalled it.
No, I think he may have run out of gas. Yeah, just stalled it.
He couldn't have run out of gas because the fuel window is a lot more than 20 laps. But that is why the caution came out. Alexander Rowe just stopped in the middle of the racetrack while running third. It's a tough break for Alexander Rowe. It has been since season 6 at Rockingham, UK, since he's gotten a victory in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I want to see that guy get a win here soon. He's one of the good drivers in this series, in my opinion. And that's what happens with all the damage. So I see these guys have damage. They jam it up on the caution, so... Yeah, getting a little interesting. And Kukulon, my man, going to the lead on the pit lane. Great strategy by the 13 team of Titan Fury Motorsports. Let's see what he does on the restart here. About a quarter of the way through the race here at Martinsville. We're back here at the Martinsville Speedway, ready to go for our second restart of the day. We got a new race leader. It's Sebastian Kukulon going for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. And he passed Jonathan Skibnicki on the pit lane. He's got Dirk Motor Racing teammates, Skibnicki and Sinor right behind him. Yepez is a lap down, and it's Matt Daly and Tristan Allen. Top 5 coming to the restart. Kukulon getting a great jump. Got a lot of guys on the tail end here that Kukulon's going to have to deal with, and if he's not careful, he tries to make a pass on the outside of one of those guys, Skibnicki's going to be right there to make the pass on him. We're all over the place right now here at Martinsville. Kukulon, the race leader, with Skibnicki and Sinor right behind him.
Skibnicki looks like he had some trouble getting by that 22. That's going to help out the 13 gain some more ground. The 16, though, of Sinor got by Julius Anderson easily. So maybe he'll gain some ground on that 26.
Something happened to Tristan Allen. I don't know where he is, but I think he came down the pit lane. Yep, he did. Seth Cole also came down. And when these guys jam up, they gain significant damage to their race cars, and lots of times it causes them to have to make a pit stop. So you got to be careful when these cautions come out. They really mess you up. But Kukulon's got a clean race car, so he's good to go for now. He's to the inside of Nathan Stapleton. He might be at this point. And we're only on lap 31, and so many guys have damage already, just after 2 cautions. Skibnicki way up high, and he was trying to get around Nathan Stapleton there. I think Stapleton's a couple laps down at this point. He's actually 1 lap down. He just lost a lap right there. But Garrett Zenor, a huge opportunity right here for him. Will he find a way around Skibnicki before the next caution? Because we'll probably get another caution here shortly. that's good news for all these guys ahead of Sebastian Kukulon, who are on the tail end of the lead lap. Fitzwater, John Arndt's actually a couple laps down, I do believe. I don't think he's on the lead lap. He's currently, where is he? He is 34th, one lap down. But Skibnicki, or should I say Fitzwater, is on the tail end. So is Daniel Voiles and Matthew Phillips and Fisher G. So those guys are hoping for a quick caution and for Kukulon to stay behind them so they can get back on the lead lap, get all the way back around and have contention for the race victory. But right now, the Titan Fury Motorsports driver, Sebastian Kukulon, is looking pretty strong. He's pulled away quite a bit from Jonathan Skibnicki. Skibnicki's in a little bit of a tussle with Garrett Senor. The guy who's fourth right now is Matt Dalio. No
Dalio's been having a great day so far.
Why is he not shown in fourth? Dalio, I think, has come down the pit lane and come back out, and we didn't notice it.
Look at that. Senor got by Skibnicki.
And Senor to the inside of the 26. That is for second.
Beautiful pass done
I'm
there.
wondering why the 79. I don't see the 79 on the scoreboard. But he restarted in the 5th position.
I think he had to come down
two laps
the pit.
down. So Dalio did actually come down. We didn't notice it. He was another guy who came down. A tough break for Dalio. Christian Master is now 4th, and Alonso is 5th. Seth Cole had to come down. Then it's Emily Anderson, Mitchell Henderson, Lucas Jacobson, Nicholas Amadio, and Mark Davidson is now in the top 10.
Those tires have been working out for him just the... Oh, wait, never mind. My bad.
Well, I mean, it's working out for him pretty well. And you got Roger Ray right behind him. That's the front row, 10th and 11th. Brad Stover, Silas Orta, Justin Roberts, Andrew Ross, Nathan Baird, and John Andrews. With Trey Bartow. Those are the guys who are not on the tail end and on the true lead lap here at Martinsville. How about Garrett Senor? He got around Skibnicki there. Oh, but Skibnicki returning the favor. Now, this is exactly what Kukulon wants to see. He keeps on lapping these guys. He's going to put another guy in between him and second place Jonathan Skibnicki. That's their teammate, Fisher G. But Kukulon is pulling away now. And the thing is, if we get another restart, and Kukulon decides not to come down, if nobody decides to come down, Kukulon's going to have both Fisher G and Nathan Stapleton in between him and second place. That's what you want here at Martinsville. You want to have those guys in between you and second place because it gets really hard for second place to catch up if that's the case. Dalio to the inside of Senor.
I think Dalio, I know he's not racing for position. I think he just put the crown horn on Senor.
Yeah, those are two 8-season veterans. They have been around since the beginning of the series. Great to see him running up front. Of course, Dalio, like you said, not on the lead lap. He's 2 laps down after he had to come down due to damage. And all those guys jamming it up off the second turn on those cautions.
Now, here's my question. Here's my question. If Senor gets stuck on the high side, is this going to open the door for the 7 car of Christian Master to try and make a move on the 16?
It probably will because Yepes isn't going to let loose on, or he will let loose on the 16 and try to Master right there.
But no, look at the 30 car, Alonso.
And Alonso finished second at California last week. He's trying to bounce back from that. Alonso comes into this race 4th in the points, only 15 behind. He is doing a pretty darn good job so far this season. He just gained a position right there. He is now in 4th. Seth Cole is a couple laps down in the 83. He's to the inside of the number 7. Side by side between Mitchell Henderson and Emily Anderson. That is for the 6th position. Mitchell Henderson started dead last for this race, and now he's inside the top 10 at Martinsville. Alonso trying to get around Ace Garcia here. And Master's still stuck on the outside. Good news for Mitchell Henderson. As he's going to pass Emily Anderson, he might find a way around Master as well. Not missing anything up front. It's still Sebastian Kukulon, Jonathan Skibnicki. These guys are about 3 seconds behind the race leader now. Kukulon is just flying away from the rest of the field, but Fisher G knows his teammate's running second, and his other teammate's running third, so he might try to get around this number 13, but Kukulon's put John Arndt a lap down now, and he keeps on going, trying to get around all these lap cars ahead of him. Michael Canto, Patrick Smith ahead of these guys. Fitzwater's actually done a very good job on the tail end of the lead lap. He's actually pulled away from Kukulon. He's 18 seconds behind, but if we get another caution here, he should be able to get back on the lead lap there. Skibnicki's behind Stapleton. He's got a lot of lap cars in between him. And Alonso's trying to get on Garrett Sonora. This is the closest battle for position right now. This and Mitchell Henderson trying to get on the number 7. And how about these guys? Lucas Jacobson, Nicholas Amadio, and Mark Davidson all getting around Emily Anderson. Emily Anderson is struggling in that number 5, and here comes Roger Ray for another position. That 5 might be down a cylinder. She is going pretty slow right now, as she just got passed by 4 guys. It's getting kind of interesting here at Martinsville back in the field. Roger Ray's got a position there. Emily Anderson falling back slightly. Brad Stover's here as well. Haven't talked about Brad Stover too much this season. He was really good last year. Hasn't been the best of seasons for him this season, but it's still early on. His teammates leading with Sebastian Kukulon. And Stover's going to the 11th position as he gets around Emily Anderson. And Anderson's got a problem. She's not going near as fast as everybody else here. Roberts on Silas Orta. That's for position right there. A lot of battles going on for position here at Martinsville. We're halfway. We'll be halfway next time Kukulon comes back around here in the STP Old Dominion 500. So what do you think of this race so far, Marty? Very fascinating what's going on the racetrack. Hey, Marty. It looks like he's left us for a little bit here. Don't know what the deal is, but either way, Kukulon currently leading the field. Got Fisher G and John Arndt in between him and second place Jonathan Skivnicki. So we'll have to see if Skivnicki can hold on to this second place position. He should be able to. As third place Garrett Sonora is quite a ways behind. We'll have to see if pit strategy comes back into play. There's going to be another stop in this race. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out here for Skivnicki. Kukulon holding on to the race lead. We've actually lost Marty for a little bit, so once we get the next caution, if we get another caution, we'll get back to him. But right now, we can't really do much about that. There's Canto trying to get around Julius Anderson. This is ahead of Kukulon, and Kukulon getting stuck on the outside by Fisher G. And Skivnicki's not that far behind here, so this could be pivotal to the race lead. If John Arndt finds a way around Kukulon, Skivnicki might be there to pounce for the lead. Huge opportunity for the number 26. Kukulon's going to stay on the outside as he's heavy in lap traffic. And Jonathan Skivnicki looking to close in on the rookie driver. He's twice as much as that number 13. At least that's what he thinks he is. That's what he wants to think. That was a bad reference to the numbers of their race cars. But Kukulon's going to get into Julius Anderson, and around goes the 22. And he almost blocks Skivnicki. Oh my! Kukulon's going to remain in the race lead because he nearly spun, and he did spin, I should say, Julius Anderson into Jonathan Skivnicki. Hey, Kukulon's not having any of that 26 coming up to his inside. He's like, yeah, I'm going to spin Julius Anderson and get another caution so I can stay out front. Oh my goodness, that was a very, very smart move by Kukulon. He was going to lose the race lead if he didn't do that. He was going to lose it, and now he's going to come down the pit lane, the race leader, with Skivnicki, Sinor, Alonso, and Christian Master, the top 5 coming down. So we'll get Marty back in here soon. Technical difficulties. Gotta love Discord, don't you? But Kukulon spitting Julius Anderson around right in front of Jonathan Skivnicki. Thankfully, Skivnicki did not get caught up in it. And if I'm Skivnicki, I'm not too happy with that 13 because what Kukulon did just affected Skivnicki from taking that race lead away. Follow with Skivnicki here. Kukulon is coming off the pit lane right here. Looks like he's got his 4 tires done, and he should easily win the race off. A little bit slow right there. Skivnicki, will he beat off Garrett Sonor? Doesn't look like he will, or yes, he will, I should say. Sonor's not going to beat off Skivnicki, and Kukulon will remain in the race lead. However, depending on how it all shakes out, Kukulon's got a pretty big lead right here on Skivnicki right now, so Kukulon might end up with a couple guys in between him and Skivnicki. I have to see if that's the case. Skivnicki's got to catch up to this number 13 to avoid that from happening. Looks like Matthew Phillips is going to get out ahead, and Skivnicki's going to get out ahead of Fitzwater. So Skivnicki's going to be right on Kukulon, but Fitzwater's going to be in between Skivnicki and Sinor. That's going to be an interesting restart. Skivnicki still has it on the 13. He's got a shot. So does Sinor, and Alonso got caught behind Daniel Voiles there. Mitchell Henderson, Nicholas Amadio is running in the top 10. Great run for him, his teammate Christian Master. And look at that! All of Zidell Motorsports right on each other. With Sam Amadio, Master, and Roger Ray, 6th, 7th, and 8th, all in the top 10. Well, you probably are tired of hearing my voice right now, so we're going to go ahead and review the accident and get Marty back in here for the STP Old Dominion 500 from Martinsville.
Into turn 1, you can see the 13 gets caught up in the middle line with lap traffic. That is the 22 machine of...
Julius Anderson.
Julius Anderson. And then Kukalong actually spins the 22 around. The 26 gets caught up in the 22 spin, slows him down, and then Dalio, who is a lap down, does not make the pass for second, but I think Skibnicki... Did he lose some spots? Did he lose second to Senor?
He did not. Skibnicki is going to be restarting right behind Kukalon on this next restart, thankfully. But Skibnicki was going to pass Kukalon if that did not happen. So that was huge right there for Kukalon, making that move on the numbers 26. That could give him the race win here at Martinsville. We're just going to have to find out.
Oh, man, that got exciting there.
It did. If you could have only heard me when that was going on. But when this race goes up, you'll hear me, Marty. So,
yes,
hey, we got those technical difficulties figured out. Let's go ahead and replay this in real time. It was a 3-wide situation for Sebastian Kukalon. Got in the Julius Anderson. He bumped Skibnicki right there. That's what slowed Skibnicki down, and Skibnicki could not make the pass on Kukalon. The caution came out. And if I'm Donovan Skibnicki, I'm going to be super aggressive on this next restart. I'm right behind that 13's bumper. I'm not happy about what he did right there. He's got the opportunity to get around that 13 right here, so we'll have to see what he does on the restart here at Martinsville. Kukalon won the race off the pit lane, and Skibnicki's the only guy right behind him. Then we got, I think, Fitzwater in between Skibnicki and Senor, so Senor's going to have a little bit of work to do to catch up to his teammate for second. It's looking like it's going to be a mano-a-mano battle between Kukalon and Skibnicki for this race win. We'll have to see who gets it done here at Martinsville with about 40 laps to go in the STP Old Dominion 500. Back here at Martinsville, we're going to have about 40 laps to go here in the STP Old Dominion 500. And Sebastian Kukalon, the race rookie, or should I say the series rookie. He's also a rookie in this race. Never raced in Martinsville before, and now he's leading the field in number 13. He got the lead from Skibnicki on the pit lane under the second caution, and Skibnicki almost got around him just before the third caution, but Kukalon decided to cause the third caution, and now he's still out front with Skibnicki, Senor, Alonso, and Mitchell Henderson, the top 5 with some lap cars in between them, and there goes Skibnicki right to the inside for the race lead.
He's got that help from Zachary Fitzwater and just blows right by Kukalon. He can't clear him, though, surprisingly.
Side by side for the race lead here at Martinsville. That outside lane can work a little bit. Kukalon might have a bit of an advantage off the corner, but Skibnicki's going to get the lap lead at 61.
Now
and Skibnicki wasting no time to get that race lead from the 13 that he rightfully deserved, as he was coming right up on him before that caution came out. And Skibnicki keeping that 13 on the outside, hoping that Senor gets around him there for second. That might easily happen as the 16's now to the inside for the second position.
And that's what I was just trying to mention there. Senor had a big opportunity there with Kukalon getting second on the high side. Now here comes Alonso looking for third.
Herjalarvin Alonso, fourth in the points,
He's got a good car here on the
third on the racetrack now as he's to the inside of Sebastian Kukalon. Fitzwater's a lap down here, and he's going to get in the way of Senor. But he could be of Senor's assistance if he can find a way around Skibnicki. If Fitzwater can find a way around Skibnicki to the inside, Senor is going to have the door open for him right away. But Jonathan Skibnicki, what an opportunity for him to get his first win on Napafan in well over a year. Of course, Senor's had well over a year since his last win. And let's not even mention the last time he won him this year. Skibnicki's actually won a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race more recently than Senor has. But they're 1-2 right now here at Martinsville, both with a great shot at the race victory. Still got a little ways to go in this race, so it's still anybody's game here. Skibnicki is the race leader. How about Garrett Senor in second? Alonso's third. Kukalon fell back to fourth. Christian Master, Roger Ray, and Nicholas Amadio, making Justin Zidell proud, all inside the top 10 here. Lucas Jacobson's up here. Justin Roberts inside the top 10, and Mitchell Henderson hanging on to the final position inside the top 10. Emily Anderson looking to strike on him. Remember, Mitchell Henderson started dead last in this race, and here he is inside the top 10. He's been running top 10 a majority of this race.
Now, I want to look at the 15 here of Matthew Phillips. How many laps down is he at the moment?
Matthew Phillips is currently on the tail end, so he's actually on the lead lap. He's hoping for a caution. He's hoping for a caution to get back on the lead lap here. I don't think he's going to be any trouble with Jonathan Skimnicki. He's going just as fast as he is. I don't think Skimnicki will catch up to him, so they're probably going to stay in these positions only unless we get another caution. Skimnicki's a little wide, though. He's got to be careful. If Fitzwater gets to the inside of him, Senore's going to be right there in the number 16.
Yeah, easily.
Can you just think about Garrett Senore here?
The all-time leader in wins on your channel.
Yeah, but the second longest losing streak in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
That too.
He's going for number 20 of his career. He's the first driver to hit the big 2-0 if he were to do it. Let's just hope he at least gets a good finish in this race. That's what I want to see, because it's not been the best of races for him as of late in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But how about Alonso? This is huge towards the championship. I know we're early on. The points don't mean that much right now, but Alonso has been showing a lot of strength so far, and this is strict points championship, so you got to get the points now when you can. And Alonso is doing just that. Finished second at Auto Club last week, and now he's running third. This is exactly what Alonso came out of retirement for, to do good. And he's taken that single car team owned by Griffin Lynn to the top ranks as a Chevy team, too. They are doing a good job. That's all I got to say.
Now, I'm looking at something else here. Our last restart was about lap 60 to lap 65. Now the question is going to caution! Oh!
Caution on the racetrack. So, yeah, I'm sure you're about to talk about pit strategy.
Yes, definitely.
Now this is going to help everyone out. This should confirm that these guys will be able to make it to the end if they come down now. Even if they don't, with the caution laps, they should be good to go on fuel. It does not appear that Skimnicki is going to come down, and you know what? If you can make it to the end, that's kind of a smart decision, because now you have Fitzwater in between you and Senore on the restart. It's going to get really easy for you to hold on to this race lead.
Well, here's the thing. Fitzwater could come in on this next lap. We'll just have to see what happens, because he's a lap down. He has to pit the lap after.
I know us as race fans want him to come down, so we have a really good battle for the race win with those four guys right on each other.
That'd be the most respectful thing I'd see out of Fitzy right now.
It would be respectful, but Skimnicki does not want that. Or does he? Will Fitzwater try to make a move on Skimnicki, try to get his lap back? You know, that's the thing. You don't know about Fitzwater. You probably know about your teammate, Garrett Senore.
And it looks like right now Fitzy's going to stay out, so this is going to be a big restart here.
It is. It's going to be a big restart no matter what. Could be the last one. We'll have to see what happens to bring out the fourth caution here at Martinsville. John Arndt. Not the best of days for him. I believe he went around under this caution here at Martinsville. Stapleton got clipped by that pointy Chevy nose of Wyatt Quayle down the front straightaway. And I think John just was trying to avoid it, and he lost a little bit of traction, hit the outside wall. That's what we saw initially, but it was Stapleton, who was the race winner here at Martinsville last year. Just didn't work out for him this year in the number 28. Tough break for the American Motorsports driver, Nathan Stapleton. It's been a very, very tough season for the sophomore driver this year. Well, Marty.
Oh,
okay,
man.
So here's the thing for you. You own Zachary Fitzwater, so what do you want him to do as a driver? Do you want him to back off, let Senore by, or do you want to see him get past Skimnicki and just go all out for it? I mean, what are you telling your driver here?
Well, I'm going to look at it with the perspective of both the 26 and the 16. If you're Skimnicki, you want to keep Fitzy behind you, and either that or let him go by. Whichever one, that would work perfectly. Now, if I'm Garrett Senore, you need to hope Fitzwater has the best restart of his life so he can get underneath the 26, and then the 16 can stay underneath the 9, and hopefully 16 can take the lead away from the 26. But if you're Skimnicki,
I think like if Senore can just stick with Fitzwater here, that's all he needs to do. If Fitzwater's the one who has to have the good restart, so he can get to the inside of Skimnicki. But if Skimnicki jumps it, it's pretty much game over, only unless we get another caution, which is very possible we could. So,
but here's the thing, though. Watch out for Harry Arvin Alonso. He's had a fast car coming off of the restarts. Watch him closely on here, though.
Yeah, Alonso is tenacious. You know, he's going to be going for that race win. He wants it. He didn't come out of retirement for nothing, and he has been doing a darn good job this season in that number 30. He's third on the restart. Let's get to the restart and see what happens. STP Old Dominion 500 from Martinsville. We are back here at the Martinsville Speedway, and Jonathan Skibnicki, on the verge of his second career Chick-fil-A Cup Series victory, has one lap car in between him and his teammate Garrett Senor, who's running in the second position. Hergel Arvin Alonso, Sebastian Cucolon, and Christian Master back in here with Roger Ray, Lucas Jacobson, Justin Roberts, Mitchell Henderson, and Nicholas Samadeo. Here we go, the restart. Fitzy did not get going, and there goes the 16 right to the inside.
I think he's backing off on purpose. Want to let these leaders go by and have them battle it out to the end. Now we're going to hope and see if Alonso and Senor can work together and get up to that 26.
I think what Senor wants now is another caution, because he's going to get around Fitzwater, and if another caution comes out, he's going to be right behind Skibnicki on the next restart. Oh, Skibnicki's a little wide. Oh, but Fitzwater! On the bumper of Senor, he's trying to get back to the inside of him. He's going to stay behind. Boy, I mean, Senor does not want to get spun around here. And Senor, you know what? He's got to be thankful that Fitzwater's in between him and Alonso now, because Alonso could have definitely gotten in the way of Senor. Now Senor can focus on trying to get to his teammate here. We'll have to see.
Now here's the thing. If you're Garrett Senor, you do want a caution, but you do not want that caution to be too long, because what if Skibnicki gets by a lap car and the 16 does not? A caution comes out. That lap car could separate the 26 and the 16.
Yeah, the next guy in line is Julius Anderson. He just came off of turn 2 a while ago. Here's Skibnicki coming off of turn 2. I don't think it'll be an issue, especially if this thing goes green the whole way through. I don't think we're going to have another issue with lap traffic, only unless we have somebody coming off the pit lane that splits them. It is still 20 laps to go here at Martinsville.
That's true.
We still got a while left to go in this thing. Senor is trying to close in, but this is the absolute hardest way to pass a guy for the lead at Martinsville. To run them down and then capitalize on a mistake that they make to get to the inside of them. That is very hard to do. And Skibnicki, all he's got to hope for is this thing stays green to the end, because if it does, he's probably going to get the race win. He gained 1/10 of a second on Senor that last time by. Alonso's still third. Cucolon's still fourth. Lucas Jacobson, a rookie driver, for fifth on Christian Master.
Man, that 64 has been running pretty fast today as well. And he cleared him.
Got him. So Master, Roger A here. Still a top 10 for Nicholas Samadeo. Samadeo's in 9th right now, ahead of Justin Roberts. And Mitchell Henderson, like I said, I mean, starting 42nd in this race, and here he is in 8th. Pretty good day for Mitchell Henderson in North State Racing. I don't know. What do you do if you're Senor in this situation? How do you catch up to the 26 to possibly have a shot at the race win?
Well, first off, if I'm 16, you need to see what's happening in your rearview mirror, because Fitzy is coming closer and closer.
How about Alonso? He got passed by Voiles and Fisher G. He did not get a good run there off the restart. So it's pretty much between Senor and Skibnicki at this point. It's going to be 15 laps to go next time by, and Senor, I mean, Senor's best chance is for a caution to come out. He wants that caution to come out so bad. We've had 4 of them here today. Maybe somebody in the back just kind of messes it up a little bit, but it looks like we're single file throughout a majority of the field. Now, it doesn't stay that way for too long around here. Emily Anderson for 10th on Justin Roberts. Mark Davidson is going to get a good run either way. I think he's going to remain in the points lead at the end of the day, but for starting on the pole, he's been very quiet. He came down under that first caution while Skibnicki stayed out, and, you know, hello, that's why Skibnicki is leading this race right now. It's because
and look at the gap, by the way. Look at the gap between Senor and Skibnicki. It's gone down from 7/10 to 5/10.
Oh, you know what? Skibnicki's got to be careful on Julius Anderson now, because if he tries to make the pass on the outside, that could allow Senor to get to the inside. He's got to be very careful trying to get around this 22.
Keep in mind, wasn't that 22 part of that caution that almost took Skibnicki out?
Yeah, that was when Cucolon was leading the race. Cucolon spun him right in front of him. Now he's not.
Oh, this is gonna get good here.
He's got Anderson blocked him a little bit. He blocked him a little bit. Will Senor gain any advantage? They're side by side there. Senor's gonna dive right to the inside. He's coming close to Skibnicki.
Down to 4/10, Napa.
It's .39. Fitzwater also gets around. Senor's got to hope for Skibnicki to overshoot a corner for him to get to the inside. He's got Ace Garcia and Patrick Smith ahead of him. They are going to catch up on those guys before the end of the race. 11 laps to go for Jonathan Skibnicki at Martinsville. Two legends in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series on Napa Fan in general. Both of these guys have been racing since before Napa Fan even started. Back when it was DR34, DG38. The first ever race I did, both of these guys, I think, were in it.
Bitsy, though, is getting closer and closer, though, to Garrett Senor every single lap. Looks like about 500ths of a second there.
The thing is, as long as Senor does not overshoot a corner, I don't think he has to worry about Fitzwater. But Skibnicki's got to worry about getting around these lap cars ahead of him. Patrick Smith and Ace Garcia. This could just be the moment Senor needs, because they are going to catch up to him. You see Ace Garcia in the camera screen of Jonathan Skibnicki. If he tries to make a pass on the outside, Senor's going to be right there to make the move.
I think in half a lap, excuse me, Skibnicki's going to be in a big situation with Garcia here.
Yeah, Ace Garcia is going a lot faster than Julius Anderson was.
Oh boy!
He tried to dive bomb the 81, could not do it. But Skibnicki will get to the inside. That is critical. And he's going to make the pass rather easily, but now Patrick Smith's ahead of him. Senor.
Now watch Senor closely here. He's having some trouble getting by that 81.
Yeah, he did not get to the inside of him.
This is big here.
And now Skibnicki's on Patrick Smith. That could be it right there. Will Smith put a battle on the 26?
No, he won't. He's going to let him go by.
It's not going to happen. That could be it right there.
This is the moment where if you're Garrett Senor, you need a caution right now, or else this race will be over.
Yeah, you need it now, because if we don't get another caution
and
in the
there
next
it is.
couple of laps, so we're still green. We're still green.
But now, since we're at less than a mile track, if a caution comes out, this race will be over.
Yeah, so he's going to have to hope for Skibnicki to run out of fuel, just like Turner did last year. It's the only shot it's going to be for Senor in this race if he's going to have a shot at his teammate. And Skibnicki, he went through that lap traffic very well. And it's looking good for the number 26 right now. Lap 96 at 100, 4.5 laps to go for Jonathan Skibnicki in the STP Old Dominion 500. And Garrett Senor, this has got to be agonizing. You've gone 3 whole years since your last Chick-fil-A Cup Series win. You're running second, and it's right there in front of you. But you just can't catch up to him in time, and his moment was right there. He could not get around Garcia in time, and that is what I think is going to give this win over Jonathan Skibnicki. But you got to watch out for the fuel. I mean, last year we didn't know what was going to happen right to the end. We thought Turner had it in the bag, and you know what happened at the end of that race. I don't think they're going to catch up to Stapleton before the end of this thing with 3 laps to go.
They will not.
This is going to be it right here. Senor's going to have to make up a second in 3 laps if he's going to have any chance at Jonathan Skibnicki. Going to be 2 laps to go this time for the number 26. Senor's trying to close in, trying to hit that apex as good as he can. But it's so hard to close in on a guy here at Martinsville.
You gained a 10th, though, but I don't think that's going to do it.
I don't think it will. Skibnicki holding on. Next time by, it's going to be the white flag for the number 26. Garrett Senor. You know, it seems like he is getting a little faster, but it's just not going to be enough. As it's the white flag for Jonathan Skibnicki at Martinsville. Jonathan Skibnicki, you know, prior to Napa Fan coming into existence in the DR34, DG38 days, he never got a win. He finally got a win in the Turkey Hill Series in 2015. Got his first Cup win in Season 5, and now he's going to get his first Cup win since Season 5. Jonathan Skibnicki wins the STP Old Dominion 500 at Martinsville, just ahead of his teammate Garrett Senor. I gotta be honest with you, it was so wonderful seeing those 2 veterans go at it for the race win. But hats off to Skibnicki, running a clean race, getting around the lap traffic perfectly to hold on for a second career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. Jonathan Skibnicki gets it done at Martinsville here today in the STP Old Dominion 500.
Man, what a race we had. That is classic short track racing at its finest.
And for Garrett Senor, I mean, I said it earlier. It is agonizing. You've gone 3 years since your last victory in this series, and your shot was right there. Just couldn't get it on the number 26. And you know, that's a good sign for Dirt Motor Racing. They finished 1-2 here today. It might be the first time this season a team has finished in the top 2 positions. But Skimnicki holding on for the race win. And he's a Season 1 veteran who has got a race win this season. So he is the most experienced guy to get a race win so far this year in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But we've yet to get anyone who won a race last year to get a race win this year. Still going on. But next week when we head to Texas, anything's possible there because we got a lot of passing going on at that racetrack. Pretty frequent there. But Garrett Sonori, got to give a huge shout out to him for what he did in this race. Really clean race. Just could not get to his teammate. And Herjalarv and Alonso, I don't think it's going to quite get to Davidson, but he's going to probably be second in the points after this one. So he finished in the third position here today. Sebastian Kukulon and Lucas Jacobson rounding out the top 5 with Christian Master, Roger Ray, Mitchell Henderson, who started last, finishing 8th, Emily Anderson, and Justin Roberts, the top 10 here from Martinsville. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. And Jesse Turner had an accident, apparently. We don't know what happened there. Nick Smith also had an ignition issue, and we saw what happened to Alexander Rowe. Just stopped on the racetrack, and we saw what happened with everybody else there. A lot of guys ending up a lap down because of the way the pit stops go here at Martinsville. But what about that race? I mean, for Martinsville, that was pretty fun. And Skimnicki holding off his teammate for the race win in the 6th race of the season.
Yeah, definitely. A big man. Once again, what a race between Skimnicki and Sonor. The two best guys at the end. You got to feel as well for Sebastian Kukulon. He had a great car early on in the race and then just lost it at the end. But yeah, how about Mark Davidson as well? The points leader coming in today, finishing in 11th. So I believe right now he should still have the points lead. But yeah. Just a great race.
It was. It was a fun Martinsville race. Maybe not as memorable as last year's, but still a classic battle. And we'll remember this one for a while. Martinsville is a good track if you just tune it perfectly. And we did that for today's race. And the good thing is, we didn't have a problem where a guy came down with 2 laps to go. So, you know, really glad Skimnicki got it there at the end. It's great to see Skimnicki back in victory lane. I think for me, I'm like so waiting for Garrett Sonor to get another race win. Yeah, I was hoping he would get it, but I can't look over the fact that another long-time guy got this victory. I've known Skimnicki for 5 years, and here he is in victory lane 5 years after we met. How about that? It's pretty cool for Skimnicki getting the race victory here today. Her second Chick-fil-A Cup Series win, and at a pretty classic racetrack, the Martinsville Speedway. Have to see how those points stack up after this one. It's going to be interesting to see how it all goes down. And I'd expect Mark Davidson to hold on to that points lead at the end of the day with Alonso right behind him in the championship standings. But we still have, how many is it, 22 races left in the season? It's going to look a lot different when we hit the Homestead in September, I'll tell you that much. But either way, here are the point standings after 6 races of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series season number 8. We'll see you guys next weekend from the Texas Motor Speedway and the Interstate Batteries 500. That's going to be a fun race. It's going to be fast, 67 laps at Texas. And if anybody's racing, you come to Texas because it's just fun. It's like one of the best races of the year.
Texas is great. It's always
great.
great.
And we use the original Texas too, so
yeah,
don't have to worry about odd pit strategies or anything like that. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Jonathan Skimnicki on his race victory here at Martinsville, second of his Chick-fil-A Cup Series career. That is it for me. On behalf of Marty Johnson, we'll see you guys next week from Texas. I will see you guys later.
Shot from outer space, and as the lights dance around your face, not gonna stop till the break